Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Today's activity is just moving some animals from small bins to larger bins because they've grown significantly. What we're going to do is we're going to move our captive bred and born Egyptian Sawscales across the way. Sorry dude, I don't mean to bother you too much. These were, you know, hatchlings not too long ago. Lori and I raised them up from hatchlings. These are Egyptian Sawscales from obviously in the Egypt area of Africa. So we're going to move him over, as he's quite a large snake now, and we're going to carefully move him across the hall and put him in a larger bin for his comfort as well as my safety. You know, they really don't like this. I can sort of understand that, but
whoa, they really don't like it.
Yeah, he's
oh, he just snapped at you too.
Yes, and these are docile snakes normally, but you know, they know something is up that they're not happy with. So we'll put something familiar in there, and also that is an aid for when they shed. Come on, I'm sorry to disturb you. You know, these guys don't get handled. I'm not like other keepers that are out there that have to constantly handle their snakes. Quite a handsome young guy. At least I think oh, girl. Okay, sorry. So we'll let it get settled in, and we'll move the other two siblings over and repeat the process. And of course, the safest way to move animals like this, oh, this one just shed, is to euplex them. So we don't give them the chance to scoot out of the top of the container while I'm holding it, causing heart failure, because it's very close to my hand, and it is very unnerving when they do that. This is a boy, so let's go over and throw this guy in a new enclosure. And you can see why I put the piece of cork bark in there is they can very neatly wrap their shedding around. Otherwise, the smooth walls don't allow them to shed properly, or makes it much more difficult. Yeah, I'm just going to remove that. Unfortunately, I don't keep sheds anymore because I have so many sheddings. It's not even funny. I have them from a multitude of individuals throughout the years. Hello. Come on. Now, these guys are nice and healthy and just really eat frozen thawed very well without any issues. So now they're going to be off feed for a couple weeks. Sorry, I don't mean to poke you. And you can see that the male is a lot easier going than the female was. She was striking. He's like, hey, where am I going? See, males are are more nomadic than females. Their job is to eat on the run while they're out finding females to reproduce with. So their environment is changing all the time, whereas the female hunkers down in a small territory where food is plentiful and just sort of sits there and doesn't travel very far. And we know this because snakes have been radio tracked, and we know a lot about their different behaviors in the wild. So that's two. Alright, so here's the other female. Hello. You know, these are these are rather curious snakes, and normally when I open this, they sort of come and greet me expecting food, but not today. They get to move to a little bit larger space for them, and you know, we know snakes really don't like a larger space. And they don't like cameras either. We've learned that along the way. Okay, and this is another female. You saw that the male just didn't do that, any striking or any sort of conflagration. So back up so I can remove her piece of wood. This has been hers since she's been small enough to fit underneath it. So as I said, I like to move a little bit of familiarity with them. This way they have something with their scent on them, and can have a little bit of comfort in their new space. Okay, so that's it for this one. Transfer the label. We have two wild-caught animals that have been in sort of quarantine by themselves. We're going to move them over here. I'm going to put the female of the pair in with the guy over there. That's the father of these three. And then I'm going to put one of these lucky guy, or that lucky guy is going to go with the wild-caught female, so I'm not interbreeding, because I don't like to do that unless I don't have an option. For little snakes, they pack a wallop. You know, as I've said before, Equus and Daboia, especially the Daboia russelli, Russell's viper, they kill more people on the planet than all the other venomous snakes combined. Yes, you know, taipans and mambas and all those other creatures do kill people, but if you want the most dangerous snake on the planet, it's definitely Russell's vipers and Sawscales. Don't get so close to these because these are wild caught and they're really not too accustomed to people. These are still feeding on live, especially the male, which I think I have right here. So we're not trying to freak them out.
He's got a very long head compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, males have a more slender head and stuff than females. We'll take a look at the female here in a minute and compare. So this is the wild-caught female Sawscale. Now,
She's got kind of, well, hers isn't as long as his, and it's wider around the, I guess, back jaw there. The venom.
yeah, I mean, you know, we used to characterize species by physical descriptions, which is, you know, still a good starting point. However, animals, just like human, will have different, you know, facial and head structures and patterns, and, you know, just like all the other animals on the planet, you know, everybody is not an exact carbon copy, of course, unless you actually clone the animal, then it is. Or some species can be parthenogenic, and then it's a carbon copy of the female. Hi, girl. Hello. Yeah, see? I'm going to check that out, and I'm going to bite it just to make sure. Yeah, hi. Yeah, now you're upset. You're doing your Sawscale thing. Well, once again, we've clearly demonstrated how friendly the females are compared to the males. Now these are snakes. If they drop on the floor, I don't try to reach and tail them. Just not a option, because you will get bitten. Hello. No, I'm not going to put my fingers there now for you to check out. I know that routine. There we go. Here you go. And we'll give them some water later once they settle in. Very handsome young female. She's going to go in with the father of the other three that we just moved. That's her destiny in probably January. No, the problem of having big stacks of cages is that bottom cage you never get to visit with very much, and it's difficult to work with the animals and stuff. That's why I had these boxes made to boost up that lower cage, and in a lot of cases, you know, I'll retire the cage or just put it into storage for the time being, because it's just much better if you have an empty space here, because working with animals this low is just really tough. So what we're going to do is since we never see the adult Echis ocellatus, is I'm going to move them over to some larger bins and just shut this cage down and not use it for now. Hello. Oh, we're conveniently both in the same place. How about that? And on the cold side of the cage, one would think that the Echis would want to go over on the hot side. Isn't that a beautiful specimen? These are just beautiful animals. It's unfortunate that they're butthurt now.
Of course.
And you know, the problem with having two animals in the same cage is you don't know, and generally this is the case, the female is eating all the goodies that you put in there. So it's just better to keep them in bins for right now. The poor little male here is, I don't know if he's getting food. Well, see, I came equipped for this problem, and you know, males are a bit runny. So we bring the small gentle giants and put him in there, and you know, they'll be butthurt for a few days, but they'll probably get over it. I'll just move the male into the female cage in January when breeding season happens, and then move them back out. You know, Mr. Leucogaster is all by himself here because the females kept on biting him on the head because they were jealous because I was feeding him, and Okay, they were getting fed too. It's just that some of these animals in captivity will exhibit food aggression. I've seen it countless times. So he's in protective custody right now and doing much better. So that's that story, and I think the leucogasters, which are in this top cage, I will probably put in bins also, because you know they're beautiful animals, but you just never get to see them because they're always under the hut. I would rather, you know, move them to a bin because they don't normally get seen anyway. And look at all the poop. We got to clean that up. But I'm going to probably move those guys to bins also, because they never come out. They're never out in the open like Miss Arutu here, or Miss Whitetail, who's always looking for something to eat. Mr. Milos, always looking for something to eat. You know, if you're in the lair, you need to be seen and you need to be able to be photographed. Otherwise, why have the animal? If you don't get to see it, and I don't get to share the animal in the experience. Now, if I open that...
Oh, no, no, no. I will not be standing there.
We would both be in trouble.
Yes, I'm only this brave when I'm doing this.
You know what? She had a chick yesterday, and
she's acting like they're starving.
She needs some water, I will tell you that.
Well, yes, I know that, but that's one of the ones with her sitting right there. I don't open that.
Okay, well, why don't you step back and watch the action. Hello. Oh, is there heat up there? Maybe. So I'm going to raise my hand well above where she is right now, because we don't want her to visit my hot little hand. Now, these gals, or this gal in particular, just doesn't drink enough unless you really wet them down. So come on. Here's the water dish, you dumbass. Go. No. Okay, nope. She's just going off in her own direction there, and this is part of the problem here at the lair. Is you can lead the snakes to water, but you can't necessarily get them to drink. And you know, these are snakes that are tropical, where they get wet all the time. They don't seem to like water here for whatever reason. And we've got well water, so this is, you know, pretty decent water. We have a misting system that I spent a lot of money for all the snakes, and I still have problem shedders. It's just the bane of viperkeeper. Yeah, she's scale sipping and wiping her face, but it's like, there's the water dish. Go there.
Yeah, look at her go.
Yeah, you know, I should really sort of hook her and see if I can get her nose in here. But notoriously, snakes don't like assistance.
No, they don't appreciate it at all.
You know, if I direct her towards the water, she's going to get even more butthurt. But I'm going to give it a shot. Come on, girlie. Come on. I know I'm touching you. Here. Here's the water dish.
I don't want the water dish. Thank you very much. I will scale sip.
You know, and here I have to risk myself. Look at her. She's like all tangled up in herself. No! The wicked witch of the south here.
The west.
Now look.
There we go.
Now, you know, I have to sort of be on my toes, because when she wants to lash out and she thinks that food is a hand, she is, you know, really, really a dangerous creature. Come on.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
going to come out and visit.
Yeah, look at her bottom. She's going to go into shed or something, so... What the hell is with this coily thing? You know, I'm just going to remove that pest strip.